Boris Johnson's government has finally become brave enough to directly criticise the BBC and the culture that they've created with the metropolitan liberal gang running the organisation. We've had Oliver Dowden, one of the government ministers, coming out in the middle of all this Flaggate issue with the BBC and how they've been criticising and making fun of the Union flag, the flag of the country, even though the BBC, the first B, stands for British. Oliver Dowden has come out to directly criticise the BBC for not representing all parts of the country. Now, this is a good sign that the government is doing this, but again, just all talks, no action. What we've had is that Oliver Dowden was talking about the issues around the BBC and especially metropolitan areas, who obviously, of course, certain places like Hackney and Islington love BBC 3, BBC 4 and all the usual outlets that they have. But he has said that they have a duty to show genuine impartiality and they have to represent all different parts of the United Kingdom. And clearly, they're not. And we know that. A lot of people have completely abandoned the BBC because it no longer stands for the values that it was created to do. So Oliver Dowden has said that they do not reflect all parts of the country, not just the Brightons and the Bristols and the Hackneys of this world, but also the Lees and Dudleys and all the other places. And it's true. The problem I have is that the government has been talking about this for some time now. Are they going to do anything about it? They have mentioned that the BBC needs reform. The TV license, the funding structure needs reform. There is no actual plan. There's no roadmap that's been created by Oliver Dowden or Boris Johnson so far. They have said that the TV license, that the review will be in a few years' time, 2027. And again, I mean, at this point, we know that if there's an election, Boris Johnson is going to beat the Labour Party. But having said that, we need to ensure that the people in this country know exactly what's happening with our nationalised TV channel. I don't understand why. It's 2021. We still have to have a nationalised industry. There is a problem culturally. It's not just in media right now, because there is a responsibility across the board, especially in academia. We are facing problems there. You know recently what happened in a school in Yorkshire where a teacher was discussing religions and decided to show a picture of one of the prophets of one of the religions and got into trouble, got suspended because the Muslim community, some of them, kicked off because you're not allowed to show the picture of the Prophet Muhammad. This is a problem, and Nick Timothy has written an article and saying that this is actually the problem that we created in the West. They're taking advantage of our liberal principles and using it against us. And that's absolutely spot on. It's really weird that I agree with Nick Timothy, Theresa May's former special advisor or chief of staff. It's fascinating, and how even the wet side of the Conservatives are now finally coming out to defend our culture. This is going to escalate. You've seen what's been happening over the last couple of days with this teacher who got suspended for absolutely no reason. You should be allowed to have the freedom to discuss and debate all religions and all topics. But clearly that's not what we have currently in this country. I'm going to talk about this issue more on this channel as usual, so stay tuned and definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. But it's Monday, so we received a lot of questions from the members of the channel. Let's go to some of them. We have John, who says, "Hi Maya, I'm seriously annoyed with the school in Batley. When people come to our country, they should abide by our laws and traditions." That's the thing. So what John says is right, but it's not necessarily just that group. There's also a different group, the liberal left, who are taking advantage of this. The people who go on Twitter, go on BBC and Sky News, who, again, your typical left-wing liberal metropolitan elite types, your Jeremy Corbyns and all the others, who are utilizing this. They're taking advantage of this situation and they're giving more power to this mob rule mentality. And that's the problem that we have. We have to all stand up for British values. So John is absolutely spot on. Natalia says, "Hi Maya, when should we expect the European Union to ratify the trade deal with the UK? Do we have any more buttons to press if the EU asks for another extension? And do you think Boris is ready to press them if needed?" Yeah, this is an interesting question. For those of you who know, the Brexit deal, the trade deal that was signed back in November, December, hasn't been ratified. by the European Union yet. There was a provision, both sides obviously approved it, but the European Parliament haven't actually ratified this. So all the rows around the fisheries, the Irish Sea, and everything else, it's still up for grabs. There is this problem where this is the time to renegotiate certain parts and rearrange certain agreements that we have. And the European Union have been delaying it because they're not happy with the UK and AstraZeneca and all that. We don't exactly know what they want to do, but with all the chaos in Europe, and whether it's the health stuff or the financial crisis, I don't think they're going to be ratifying it anytime soon. I'm guessing sometime in the summer, but we don't really know. Fellasoid says, do you think Alex Salmond will split the votes in Scotland with his new party and put the Scottish Tories into power? Not short term, because he has clarified that his party, because obviously the Scottish system, you got two votes. One is constituencies, which is first past the post, and then you got the additional member system, which is by list. And that he doesn't want to intentionally split the vote, but he's smart. He's only doing that to attract more SNP supporters. If he were to say that, okay, I'm going to completely destroy the SNP now in the next couple of months when the election comes, of course he wouldn't attract many SNP voters or members. But he's had defections. He's had a couple of SNP MPs defect into his party. He's had a number of members from the SNP joining them because he's waiting for the long game. This election, ignore that. But long term, medium term, and long term, he's dividing the cause of Scottish independence. He doesn't even know he's doing, unless he's completely lost the plot and he doesn't care about independent Scotland. But what he's doing is not going to help medium term. Short term, Sturgeon will be fine. Right, next question is Vince. Are the double standards that we are witnessing in policing over the last year the fault of the diversity-crazed police forces involved or the Home Secretary? Kind of both, but there's a deeper problem with the police, and it's been going on as a culture for a long time. It's just showing itself now. It's this mentality that the police have had for a while, which is all about the PR management. We know that the double standard in policing, when it comes to targeting certain groups or protests differently, so the anti-lockdown or the people who came to protect the statues were targeted in a much more harsher way than the Extinction Rebellion or the BLM lot and everybody else. It's simply because they know that they could get away with targeting the anti-lockdown protests and the march. But it's bad PR. It's politically incorrect and bad PR if they go hardcore on Extinction Rebellion, for example, or on the Marxists. So it is that problem, and it hasn't created it. It's not just because there are certain people in the police who are woke. Of course, there are some who are woke, especially in management, but that's not the main problem. The main problem is a cultural thing that's been going on for a few decades now in the police, and they're very, very much concerned with their processes and paperwork and how the media react to the incidents. So this is a problem that we have. Julia says, do you think that there will be hope for Kanzuk and in a few years down the line for possibly freedom of movement with Canada and Australia and New Zealand? Yeah, I've been talking about Kanzuk, which is this potential agreement between New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and the UK. And it's more than a trade deal. It's cooperation on defense. There is this proposal for free movement. Some people are pro that, some people are against it. I think, as I've said previously on this channel, Liz Truss, who's in charge of this project, is aiming for that. But New Zealand, the government in New Zealand, are being difficult because they have links to the Chinese Communist Party. So you're going to have to wait for the New Zealand government to change its, either the Prime Minister or their tune in general. We don't really know how long it will take for Kanzuk to happen. Neil Butler says, hi Maya, there are lots of reports of serious rebellion against the European Union from within the member states, even at government level. But have you seen any real proof of this from your contacts, or is it wishful thinking? Everything that we've seen when it comes to the division within the European Union is actually being reported. There's statements coming from the governments themselves, whether it's the prime ministers, presidents, or certain foreign ministers. We know that there are divisions when it comes to the relationship between Hungary and the European Union. We know that Germany are having issues with Ursula von der Leyen. We know that France and Macron are having problems with Brussels as well. The European Commission are also creating some problems in Spain and Italy. So it's not just some sort of rumor. Every the leader and minister have been coming out to attack the European Commission, and the European Commission have also been obviously taking away powers from certain countries. So Scandinavian countries are also getting ready to stop this centralization. It's going to be a long process, and this battle will continue over the next few months. As usual, this channel will cover all of that. Perfect. So this I'm going to end this program because the next one we're going to have Nigel Farage on the show at 5:45 p.m. So make sure to tune in for that interview. We did obviously another Nigel interview earlier a couple of days ago, but he's going to be talking about the Eurozone and the European Union, the financial crisis. So definitely stay tuned. And don't forget, you only have about 2 weeks left to get your I Believe in Britain merchandise, or We Are the Media merchandise, using the special discount code THANKYOU15. You get 15% discount until the 12th of April when the pubs open, hopefully. So you definitely use that code. It's just as a thank you to you guys for supporting us, especially in the last few months. If you're a member of the channel, you guys will get a 25% discount. I'll put the link, the actual discount code, and the community tab on YouTube. So go on YouTube, the main channel, and on the top of the screen you can see a few tabs. Click on community and you can see all the updates for the members, including the discount code for the 25% as well. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tousi, and I'll see you guys in the next video.